Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Tuplex, and we're in the process of setting up some military science production. In the last episode, I noted that we needed military science to do a couple researches that I would like to have to build the nuclear reactor area. I want to get blasting charges. This is from the explosive excavation mod. It allows you to blast areas of ground to get water instead. You know, it's kind of like the opposite of landfill. And then I also want to start mass producing electric furnaces so that we can start building some smelting areas. But I figured that if we're going to make electric furnaces, we're already making a lot of electric engines. So if we're going to do that, we might as well start making production science packs too. So slight change in plans, I would say. Since previously I had said that we would start to make blue science and then leave it at that, but we'll go ahead and do a little bit more here. So, all right. So I've got two of the ingredients we need. The last one are the gun turrets. And for that, we're going to need a lot of copper and iron. And we're going to need 4 machines. All right, so if we put I think it'd be better to, well, maybe it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'll put the turret machines down here. Okay, so I'll leave a space and then I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so these are going to make gun turrets. And I'll throw out another one of these guys. And I'm going to make these all long. And we'll have those output to a belt there. And then the actual science packs, we're going to have 5 of those. And I think we could just line those up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, you know what? Why don't I just use my blueprint for this whole area? Since I'm doing 45 a minute on the military, since I don't need a lot, I really could have just used the blueprint from my version 16 vanilla game, because that was for 45 a minute. But I'm almost done with this anyway, so might as well just keep going like this. Yeah. I'm going to remove those for now because I need to make a lot of gears. Okay, I need 3 machines making gears. I'll just do this. Since I need 3 machines making gears, feeding these guys, I might as well just do a 1-to-1. But first, I'm going to need... Let's see what kind of belts we're going to need on the inputs here. Yeah, if I do yellow belts, I would need essentially a full belt of iron and a shared belt of copper and gears. If I do fast transport belts, yeah, I can do... Let's see, if we make that iron, oops, we could do iron there. Actually, we already have iron. Let's just upgrade this to a red belt. Where's my upgrade planner? I don't know if that's going to be enough. For all of this. For this, I need 4. I think that's per second. No. Let's take a look at the planner here. Total input is 1103 per minute. Which is 18.3 per second. Yeah, so one red belt is fine because a red belt can do 26.6 per second. All right, so we can have that. Yeah, and then I can just bring that down for the copper. And then let's see if I can make it work with gears over here. All right, I'm going to put in the inserters first. All right, so let's make these long, long, and long. All right, I'm going to have to cut this belt. All right, get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. I don't need the brick anymore. What? Okay, yes, thank you. All right. So those will feed those. And then they're going to need to pull iron off of this belt. Like that. These guys are going to need iron. So we can pull iron from there. This might work. Okay, and then we need to get copper up there. The bloody steel on this belt is giving me a hard time. It seems to want to always pick up the steel first. Yeah, okay. And then we can just put another inserter there. Make those long so they pull off the yellow belt. Right, and that should give us turrets. We might have to upgrade that belt. No, that should be fine. It's less than half a belt of copper. Okay. And we'll put a couple lights there. Yeah, I kind of like this. I think that's a good setup. Okay. Yeah, and then we can do the science pack production over here. I'm lining this up with the second turret machine just to make sure that this first machine making science packs is always going to get enough on the input side. Okay, yeah, we'll actually need 2 inserters on each. Make those long, we'll make those long. We'll make that long, we'll make that long. And we'll make that long. Like so. Okay. And then we output there, and let's figure out the best way to get these to the labs. We'll send it down the bus. I'll send it down the bus, and then I will jump on the same belt as the blue. No, I'll leave blue science the way that it is. Since I already have a full belt there, I'll just leave it. So I'll put production science on this belt. Okay, so now I'm going to have to pick up all of this so I can squeeze in a third belt. Okay, and let's see. Yeah, I guess I'm okay with the regular power poles there. Oops. Okay, so we're going to need to put more inserters there. Pull off of this third belt. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up these power poles, and we'll power this with substations. All right, let's move all this. There. Okay. Yep, and let's just pick everything up. I'm gonna have to start this over. I'm gonna pick up this whole belt too. All right. Yeah, I should really cut this belt as well. I'm going to cut all the belts. just because I'm gonna have to get inserters put in some rather creative areas. And so I'm gonna end up, I'm gonna end up just picking up all this stuff anyway. So I'll just pull all this stuff off the belts manually, I suppose. And then I'll pick up the belts, and then we'll put in the inserters. All right, then I can just hit Shift-C, and that'll load up all the science packs. Okay, so each one of these is going to be pulling from 3 belts. So we could do something like that. All right, make that one long. And make these long. All right, let's move that one over and move that one over. Okay, and then if we mirror this on this side, no, we can't mirror it like that because this one needs to have a belt there, so I can't mirror it like that. So what if on this side, those come from the far belt? Those can do the near belts. And those can do the middle belt. Okay. I think that will work. Let's give it some power just to check it. Okay. Well, we're not doing any research, so that's why it's not doing anything. So let's pick a research. What do I need for that? All right, let's do explosives. I want to put some, yeah, let me, I'm going to get all the science packs out of there so we can see it working. So let me put some red science there. Make sure they all get red science. Okay, that works. Let's put some green science. If red works, then green will work. Okay, they all got military science. And I'm assuming they can all get blue science too. Yeah, okay, so I think that's going to work. So now we can just copy that all the way down the line. Hopefully this will tile properly. Looks like it will. Okay, and then I'm going to have some extra here at the end, so we can remove all that. And that last one can be a regular belt. Okay. And now we're doing cliff explosives. All right, I don't want auto research. Okay. Seems like that did the job. All right, and then I can throw in a few lights just for fun. Let's see, we're actually using up some power now. Let's check on our nuclear plant. We're still at 94% full on steam, so it's going to be a long time before we have to put in more fuel. And you can see that the temperature is down close to 500 now. So I expect that the steam will start to deplete more quickly once it gets down to 500 and these stop making steam. Then it'll start to pull more from the tanks. Okay, so let's get those blasting charges. Okay, and then we can put some lights on this side. Okay, nice to see the factory running again. Okay, so let's now do the other science. All right, and while we're waiting to do that, what else do I need that takes military that I can do? Let's look at our rocket launch research. Well, I know that takes everything, but just to see what the prerequisites are. Okay, yeah, so we need rocketry. So I'll put rocket shooting speed 5 in the queue. Only research queued. Rocket shooting speed 5. Right? Let me pull that up again. Where was it? Down here. Yeah, rocket shooting speed 5. I wish it wouldn't pull up my to-do list every time I do this. That's kind of annoying. Okay. I thought I added that to the queue. There we go. Okay, great. So we'll get that started. Now for the other science pack, I could use a blueprint, but I do want extra furnace production. So, but let's get the, where is it? Here we go. Tuplex blueprints. All right. High tech. Production science with extra furnaces. That looks a lot like what we need. How much extra furnaces? I don't know. But... oh, and this is making engines on site, which I actually don't need. Yeah, so we could definitely scale up the furnaces. What do the furnaces take? Okay, yeah, it just takes stuff that we have on the bus. So it would be easy to scale that up more. So I'm going to take this out because we don't need to make the engines here because I'm already making them elsewhere. I'll just belt them in. And that means I don't need this. I do need assembly machines. So let me add that to my bot supply thingy. Yeah, then I just have this filter inserter to add extra furnaces. Yeah, so let's, I'll just double this. Okay, now this is asking for red inserters because that was in my blueprint. So I'll just make the red inserters to simplify things. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and this is even going to put it on the correct side of the belt for us. Okay, and I also need a filter inserter to go right there. Yeah, and that's all we need. Let's put a pole there so we can power it up. And that's why I love blueprints. All right, I'm going to delete that. Okay, so this needs... which was which? Let's see what we need here. If we do fast transport belts, okay, we could do, yeah, I'll use that yellow belt for red circuits, and then the red belt I'll use for steel and stone brick combined. And it just so happens that I have them right next to each other. Speaking of stone brick, I'm going to grab a little bit more so I can extend my trail a little bit. There we go. Okay, and let's get the termites to eat all that up. Whoops. You can't just do maximum distance like you can with yellow belts. All right, so that's the combined belt of steel and brick. All right, so how do we do that? We do it like this. And then if we put those on a red belt, then that way we'll be able to get essentially a full yellow belt's worth of output going onto those. Okay, and then the other requirement are red circuits. So let's extend the circuit bus. Another great tool, that belt brush. Okay, and that needs to come out just above this one. Right? Yeah. One, two, three, four. No, this can come over one more. Actually, you'll need to go two more. All right, and then I'll line it up over here. Okay, and then I need to get engines put on the belt there. So where are we making the engines? Over here. Okay, this will be quite easy actually. Just run a belt straight up there. Okay, I think this is going to do it. Yeah, there we go. Now we have production science packs. Okay, so I'll leave that in the queue. I'm going to add production science packs. And we'll turn on auto research. So now we can start to do things like automation 3, logistics 3, more robot speed. We can do, yeah, coal liquefaction. So we can do a lot of great researches. Let's see how we're doing on power. All right. Yeah, we're really starting to use some power now. Okay. Yeah, see, we're down to 34%. So this is, we've got the green signal on inserting fuel, because there's no fuel in the reactors. All this power production is pretty much coming from the steam tanks, the steam flowing backwards through there. So once this gets below 25%, we should see fuel get inserted into the reactors, and then hopefully that'll give it enough time to heat up before it drops down to zero, before the steam drops to zero. That's why we don't want to use a number that's too low. And the more power that we use, or the faster the more power we use, the faster that steam level is going to drop, and we might have to raise that threshold at some point, to 50% or something. So let's watch. So when it gets to 24, I think it'll trigger it. It's 25. 24. There it goes. Nice. I love that. I think it's cool when you automate stuff like this and get to see it working. All right, so now the temperature's starting to increase. Whoops. Sorry about that. You can see the steam get confused about what direction it wants to go in. These are not generating steam yet. Why, I'm not sure. Okay, I can see the water flowing in. Okay, yeah, the number's climbing again. All right, great. Yeah, so we're making more steam. It'll start to go back into the tanks, and then when it drops below 25 again, we'll insert another one, assuming we don't have fuel in there already. Yeah, we're using 50 megawatts now, which is more than what we could do with the steam power. Now, I'm thinking that I might turn the steam power back on, just so we can try to get that coal depleted. I really want to mine out the main base so that we can have the room. Plus, it just feels like an accomplishment. So I could turn the steam power back on, then I'll use even less uranium. And we can just do that until this runs out. Because I got the input priority on the coal mine side. All right, so if we look at power now, it tries to balance it in a way. I'm not sure how it determines how much to put in each. Maybe it goes for the same percentage load. Because like the nuclear that we have right now can make 160 megawatts. Here we're using about 25% of it. But here we're using close to half. So yeah, so I don't know. I don't quite understand how the game decides how to balance your power sources. But anyway, I'll let that go. And as a matter of fact, I'm just going to remove this. So that way when the coal runs out, this will just shut itself down. Okay, so now that we've got all of that taken care of, I think in the next episode we will start to set up some smelting outposts. Now to do smelting, we're also going to have to do mining. So how much do we have? We still have about 50% of our iron mine. Coal's 47, stone. Okay, so these are starting to deplete a bit. I think I'll just leave these. I was thinking of putting the ore here on the train network to use elsewhere. And maybe I'll do that for copper because we have a big copper patch. But the iron and the stone, I think I'll just leave alone. And then the train station that we put in for the copper, we can configure it as a supply station, and then when this copper mine is depleted, we can configure it as a receiving station for copper plate from our offsite smelting. So I'll do some thinking about what the first setups should be, but I've got 200 electric furnaces now. So and then the other thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to start planning how big we want to make the decentralized base and whether we want to try to build it up to full capacity all in one go, or if we want to do it in stages, like go to 50% and then go to 100%. I'm not sure yet. I'll give that some thought. and we can get to work on that next time. Until then, thanks again for watching, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.